welcome. You're listening to Frisky Biscuits right here on this wonderful podcast. My name's Dr. G, and I am here with...
I'm Lisa, and we really thank you for participating with us today on our podcast. We appreciate you for coming along, all you motorhome junkies.
And that's kind of the center of what we do. Motorhome junkies, rolling stock, food trucks, big trucks, even you commuting out there. So let's get started. This is another episode. We're so happy to have you with us. You can always contact me directly and give us feedback at my text number at 707-479-7404. And what is our website, Lisa?
The best way to reach us is through our Gmail account, and it's friskybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. And guess what? We got some new stuff. We do have our website up and running. It's frisky-biscuit.com. And we've got all kinds of new shirts there for you. And we designed them all, and we'd love some feedback from you. Do you like them? Do you like what we're doing? Are there other ideas you'd like to see? Our hats are coming out in the next week or so. They're not up yet. All the t-shirts are. And we also have some cool new merch of our stickers. They're Road Warrior stickers. Our intention is to go out and find you on the road, all the truckers, all the motorhome junkies, the food trucks, and give you a short interview and shout out on our podcast. And we want to give you our stickers. And what's really cool about these stickers is they're not just sticking on your vehicle. They're static electricity. So when you put them on, you can move them around. And they're great. They look great. I'm so impressed.
And we have the very first one on our car, and you would be proud to have one on your car. How do they end up with one of these stickers exactly?
Well, you have to come find us or order a t-shirt. We'll send you one with a t-shirt too.
Well, that's new. I didn't know you were going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah.
And by the way, we got some cool t-shirts. Our t-shirts are to die for, literally. We worked on these very, very diligently, and these t-shirts are designed by us, and they're for you, and they're all genres for truckers, motorhomers, tourists, commuters. There's some funny stuff there, almost pornographic stuff, excuse me, and it's fun.
Funny.
Take a look at our website, and we'd love for you to order one. Also, we have some hats on the way that are just totally cool. I love our hats.
I'm not really a big hat person, but I really like these because there are a couple of different tones. It's not just a black hat or a tan hat. I don't know what the guy does with his lettering. He embosses them and he makes them a little bit thicker, like a leather part of what the decal is. It's very cool. He's here locally. All of our shirts are 100% cotton. They're all made here locally, so you'll get a good product and a good screen print. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to hear from you. Let us know what you think.
Please do. Again, that number is 707-479-7404. It's a text number, and it's my direct number. So we will contact you back with feedback if you have something that you want to talk to us about. And that's a good way also if you want us to interview you on the podcast, because we're going to be interviewing road warriors. That's all of you out there who drive anything down the road for work, for semi-pleasure like an RVer, or somebody commuting, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
So get in touch with us. Let us know, because it's going to be fun to listen to you on the podcast.
So let's talk about those road warriors. Let's start off with the motorhome junkies. And, one of the things that everybody's talking about is the gas prices. Are you going to go traveling this year with the gas prices? Well, they did interview 2,600 people and ask them that very question. And you know what? They found that only 3% of the people decided they weren't going to go this year. All the rest, 97%, said yes. However, they did say they're going to stay closer to home. They're going to find less expensive RV parks, because some of them, their prices have gone through the roof. They said they're not going to travel around so much in the town that they're going to. as they're going to just stay put. They're going to bring their own food. They're going to cook. They're going to cut back on their expenses that way, but they are going to go. So that was promising. I really loved hearing that fact.
Absolutely. That's very cool. A lot of people were fearful of the gas prices, and the gas prices do scare us all. I mean, here where we're located, it's $5 diesel fuel now, and some places in the country it's $7. I think down in California. So that would discourage you because it's going to be over $1,000 to fill up a big truck. Some of these motorhomes, it's $1,000 to fill them up, and that would discourage about anybody. However, I am encouraged to hear that only 3% of the people are saying it's going to keep them home, because the rest of them are saying, hell with it, we're going to go anyway, and we're going to figure out a way to do it.
And the least expensive of them all are the towables. So it's inexpensive versus a motorhome to do a towable, and anybody can do it. You can take a little Soul Kia, you can take a RAV, what is it, Nissan RAV? Or
Toyota RAV4.
Yeah, any of them can pull up to 2,500 or 2,500 pounds, which is a lot. You can put a lot of stuff in there, and you don't really need a lot of stuff, especially for the weekend warriors. Just grab some water, grab some food, grab some clothes, and head out. Make a fire. It's so beautiful out there.
Most of these little cars will pull a small towable. Mm-hmm. So, no excuses out there. Let's make it happen. Let's have some fun. And you got some interesting things about Winnebago that we just found, some milestones that they just hit.
Yeah, Winnebago's been around for 60 plus years. They have 2,700 employees, and they just were groundbreaking. They're the first organization that rolled out their 500th vehicle.
500,000.
500,000. Half a million. It's the 500,000 mark that rolled off the lot.
That is amazing. Think about 500,000 motorhomes, most of them hand-built. And that's a lot of motorhomes. And I remember back when I was a kid seeing the big old boxy Winnebagos that had the big W on this side of it. And we see those going down the road now. They're antiques, and they're probably going to be worth some money if people. We saw one restored the other day. It's very, very cool.
I love what they're doing with the restored ones.
I think that could be a thing, restoring these old motorhomes back to kind of new condition. And people buying them because they're very, very cool. They like old cars. They have a certain style to them.
Mm-hmm. And what is interesting, that one that rolled off the lot, the 500,000th one, was a Revel. And the Revel, they've only been out for 4 years, but boy, they're taking off. They're kind of a condensed version of a motorhome, but it's perfect for one or two people and maybe a dog that love to go four-wheel driving, that love to go out into the more rugged terrain. Yet they're great road vehicles. Our girlfriend has one, and she used to have an old VW camper, and she traded it in, got bank for it, and bought one of these Revels, and it is very cool. And I love how they're toy haulers, too. In the back, you can take your bed and go up and down, and you can put all your toys underneath, or you can use it for storage. There's just a lot of choices in that.
Well, Winnebago has done a great job with the motorhomes. In fact, they were kind of one of the first ones, and everybody's built after that. And now the new high-tech motorhomes, which we have one of. We have a leisure travel van. If you're a leisure travel van owner, we're going to talk a lot about those. We have some people coming to visit us and going to go on a little tour with us this summer that also has one of those. But
and tell them about what we did with our leisure travel van where we wrapped it.
Oh, you mean with the Rent Me with the picture of Dean on it?
Yeah, Dean, you're going to love what we did.
It looks like that Robin Williams motorhome says Rent Me and has a picture of Dean Corrigal on it from Leisure Travel. He would kill us if we did that.
I know. No, we had a lot of rock chips, and we just kind of got tired of washing it too. So we had a friend of ours that has a place where, what do they call it?
Ceramic coated. It's not wrapped, it's ceramic coated.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, all you have to do is put water on it and all the dirt washes away. And it looks brand new all the time. And it lasts for, what did you say, 5-6 years?
Oh, he said 10.
Oh.
And they give it a booster shot. And I could not encourage you more to do that with your motorhome because, I'm a clean freak and it's got to look new and shiny all the time. So I was working myself to death, keeping it looking nice. Now, we did this, when was it, in October? So it all through the winter, it hasn't been washed once. And if it rains, the water just slides right off of it. It's an amazing thing.
And even the bugs on the front.
And the bugs, nothing sticks to it. I didn't believe it when I first heard it. I thought this cannot be the case because it can't be that good. But it is. And it's not cheap. It's not an inexpensive thing to do, but it does completely seal the paint, keeps it from getting scratched. And the only thing it won't prevent is dents.
Yeah. Luckily, we don't have any of those. The other thing that we did that we really love are the tire monitors. You know, every tire now has a monitor on it and a little machine inside so we can see exactly what's going on with our tires. And there was one time during the summer that one of the tires got really hot. It was a really hot day, and we wouldn't have known it. And there would have been a good chance that tire could have blown out. And with the tire monitors, we were able to see it. And for those of you that do not have them, they're so easy to put on. You just take that little cap off and put the tire monitor on it. And we numbered all ours, so it makes it easier. So that, and the other thing that I would suggest bringing along with you that a lot of people do not have is an FM radio. Because if you get into an area that your cell phones aren't working and a storm comes in or there's a problem, the FM radio, the NOAA system, they're cheap. They're like $20 to $100. You can get them at any sporting goods store. It's just something good to have in your motorhome.
There's a lot of cool things that we've discovered along the way with a lot of help from listening to podcasters and YouTubers. The NOAA radio is probably one of the best things to have because if something were to happen, it automatically, if you have it on, what'll happen, it'll trigger a civil defense warning or a weather warning. And it'll be there to give you information. And it's satellite driven usually. It's FM frequency. And you'll hear it. Even up in the hills, you can pick that up. So NOAA radios, kind of a cool thing.
And some of the newer ones, once you plug them in and they're charged, you can actually charge your cell phones with them too. So it's a good survival type of thing, but it's just good to have. And they're small, so you can carry it around with you. You know, you don't want to carry too much with you. You know, we did that in the very beginning. Too many clothes, too many pots and pans. You don't need a lot. And they told us that, and we did it anyway.
Not me. A couple of T-shirts, Levi's. Now, Lisa's another story.
Well, I got to have some shoes.
Back to that radio, though. One of the good places to pick one of those up is a place called seacrane.com. They have the best one, and it's not very much money. I think it's $50 or something. Seacrane.com. We're not affiliates. We don't do any of the affiliate stuff, but we will recommend once in a while when we have something, know something, for you to check it out because it's we've already probably by 3 of them found they didn't work, and then that's the one we end up with. So anyway, a lot of stuff going on out there, man. I tell you what, the world is a strange place, and that's the big reason to get off your butt, go camping, get out there, go to a national park, go to a state park, go to a city park, get outside, have some fun. I hear so many people in my private practice over the last almost 40 years one of these days I'm going to buy a motorhome. One of these days we're going to go camping with the kids. One of these days. And what happens is you're going to want to one of these days yourself right into the grave and never get to do those things. And I'm one of those guys that kind of did that. And I'm really happy that we're doing this with a motorhome now. And we travel and have a lot of fun. Lisa was one of these people that wasn't going to have anything to do with it. She thought it smelled bad and no showers, and we just can't rough it like that. But I think you've discovered that you like
camping. Yeah. I'm not a tent camper. I like a really comfortable bed. I like pretty good food. And this gives us both because I love to travel. I like to drive. And this is a chance to go more glamping than camping. However, it gets outside.
Glamping.
So, yeah.
We have a T-shirt to cover that, Professional Glampers. So if you're not a camper but a glamper, check out our T-shirts. And what's that website again?
It's really easy. It's frisky-biscuit.com. So just put the dash in between Frisky Biscuit and check it out. Please let me know. I worked hard on it, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. However, what really counts is your opinion. So let us know.
Yeah, we have a technical advisor on our podcast now. I didn't realize we did, but I sent my link to this podcast last week to my son, and he had his son reviewed, which is my grandson. And man, I'll tell you what, he showed me everything that I could improve upon, which was lighting. And by the way, Morgan, if you're watching this podcast, we know the lighting's bad right now. I worked on it, and we ended up doing it too late, and we have uncontrollable light here in our studio house. So next time I'm continuing to work on it. But this young man, he knows how to do this stuff, and he's 14 years old, and God bless his heart. I thought his dad was good at this because I taught him well, and he was better than me, and now I think his son's going to kick his butt. So thanks, Morgan, for your feedback, and we appreciate you paying attention and watching.
Mm-hmm. You know, one other thing that we can talk about with the Motorhome Junkie is just to shout out to some of these cool companies like Winnebago that's been doing some interesting things is Cummins. You know, most of our generators in our motorhome are Cummins generators, and they're doing the coolest thing. They're partnering in Florida with Florida Power and Light, and they're providing the generator for a hydrogen plant for new green energy. It's not completely green yet. What it is they're laying the groundwork and the cornerstone to become 100% carbon-free energy for the future. So they're leveraging solar power to turn the water into hydrogen from the water, and then they'll mix in a little bit of natural gas and actually power their power plants in Florida. So they're really on the cutting edge and going the green avenue. They're not completely green yet, but eventually they will be. They'll use the hydrogen as the power source with the Cummins generator. So more power to you.
You have some interesting things here on Truckers News. We enjoy trucks. You know, the big trucks. I've been fascinated with them my whole life, and these trucks are so gorgeous when they're all chromed out. And we've got some interesting information today about what's going on with the trucking business. And but one of the things we want you to be aware of, if you have a motorhome or a truck, we're going to endorse without solicitation the Blue Beacon Truck Wash.
Oh, we love Blue Beacon.
I tell you, those guys are good. When we got our motorhome, we didn't have room in our driveway to wash it, and most of the car washes can't handle it because it's too tall. So we took it to a Blue Beacon, not knowing what was going to happen, and it's 16 guys in there with brushes.
And we didn't want something just automated.
Right.
You know, we wanted real people, real bodies washing it.
Hand wash. And anyway, they walk up to you and they tell you, they ask you, what do you want? And you can ask them a la carte anything. They'll clean the wheels. They'll just rinse it. They'll scrub it. They'll use no soap. They have an acid wash they can use on it, which won't hurt the paint, but it takes off the grime and the dust. And they did our motorhome, and I'm telling you what, it came out there looking brand new. And it only took, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's not that expensive. The thing that you do have to bear in mind is the time of day you go. So there can be a 2 or 3 hour wait at some of the truck stops. It depends on what time of day.
Yeah, the truckers really appreciate it. And so I just wanted to mention that. We're not being endorsed by them, and we don't affiliate them or anything. We just like them. And they're spread all over the country. They're a trucker's distance from each other, about anywhere from 300 to 500 miles. But we're lucky enough to have one here in Twin Falls. Yeah,
and they usually partner up with one of the gas stations or petrol stations.
One of the big truck stops, yeah.
Speaking of that, Pilot. We don't have one here, but they're all over. There's 400 pilots around the United States. They just decided to put $1 billion into upgrades over the next 6 years. So Pilot, over the years, is really going to take off. They're upgrading all their bathrooms. They're upgrading their food service. They're upgrading all their lighting. They're taking it into the 21st century kind of state-of-art retail and fueling technologies. They're also going to do state-of-the-art checkouts. And after they complete that, they're going to start putting in green charging stations. So they're looking at equipping fuel alternatives also at Pilot stations, which you wouldn't think that would coordinate, yet it's where people stop. So I suspect the other retail stations will also get into that phase too to get some,
I'm sure,
alternative fuel.
They're going to have to compete.
Yeah. $1 billion. That's
That is serious
Good on
money.
ya.
So be looking for that. Pilots can upgrade their truck stops, going high tech and going multi-channel, you might say, with more vertical products that they can sell because of the diversity of some of the vehicles out there. So Pilot, cool.
Yeah, and also you truckers, I know you probably know this, but I thought I would just, remind that on May 17th for 72 hours, they're doing their annual road blitz. So they're going to stop all trucks, all truckers, and this year they're focusing on checking wheel ends. And I actually had to look it up because I'm not a trucker and I didn't know what wheel ends are. Wheel ends function the system. So it's the spindle, the hub, the actual wheel, like the rim, and the bearings and all the fasteners. Everything that connects the wheel to actually move along the road. And 1 out of 4, a fourth of all components and violations that happen are the wheel ends. So this year, bear that in mind. Make sure you check out your rig before you're heading out on the road, because that's what they're going to be focusing on. And once you go through one of those check stops, you get a pass for 3 months, so you don't have to do it again. Cool.
That's good. That's very cool. I believe they're very possibly going to be doing this with motorhomes, checking some of these older motorhomes out, because there's, you and I have watched a few of them go down the road wondering if they're going to make it to the destination. I know a lot of parks won't even accept a motorhome over 7 to 10 years old or something like that.
Some of them, and some of the RV centers aren't even fixing them anymore. So if your rig is over a certain age, you're saying, hey, look, we're so busy, we don't have time for you, which is really interesting. You wouldn't think that
would hurt.
A rig that 7 or 10 years old is that old. But the other thing to bear in mind for RVers and rolling stock out there is your weight. Because, I see some of these out on the road that are just, you can tell they're just overweight. And I think it's going to come to a point where we're going to be the ones on the scales too. And your weight includes everything. It includes you, includes your animals, and includes your water, your fuel, everything you bring along. So weight does matter. And you can go to the scales on any of these truckers.
Remember what you just
spots.
said. Weight does matter.
I think so.
Yeah. How many shoes do you haul along on our trips?
They don't weigh a lot, though.
I tell you what, when you load up a motorhome after you're coming out of a house, it is an interesting drill on what you're going to take and what you're not going to take. And what we found out is you don't need much.
No, and you can get anything that you forget along the way, for the most part, in this beautiful country of ours.
As Dean Corrigal up at Leisure Travel says, there are stores everywhere.
Yeah. And I think that's something that all newbie RVers do. The first trip, you take too much. So they always say, do it in your driveway or go close to where you're at for the first trip, and you'll see you don't use that much.
Guess what time it is?
What?
We are brought to you by a very interesting sponsor, Moose-Eye Grantology. Moose-Eye Grantology is also owned by my partner right here, Miss Lisa Kay. And she has a self-written, easily produced, self-talking commercial for you right now. So here's a message from our sponsor.
Are you looking for a grant? Did you know there's grants for just about any business? Are you a musician? Run a firefighting organization? Assist in small town projects? Or dreamed of starting a nonprofit organization? Well, the time is now. There's billions of dollars of grant funding out there given to all these organizations every year. The key is to have your organization set up to be in line with what the funder is funding, and then know how to write the grant properly. So you want to mirror and match up to what those people that are the funders giving funds away. Does your organization, are you doing what they're giving away for? So that's the first key, and then how you write it up. We can help you write it up. We can look for grants for you and make sure that you're grant ready. Then we trust that we're going to win for you and win that grant. We can even set up your 501c3 if you haven't done so already. So the time is now. You can contact us through our website, which is www.moosaigrantology.com.
Very good. Everybody give her an applause. I think that was a wonderful kind of a start for her to be a radio person. Yeah.
Yeah, this is all new to me. If you didn't know, I've never done radio before.
And I've done it most of my life, and you would never know it by this podcast. I wanted to also do a very, very solicitous conversion here. Many of you don't know who I am and where I come from. However, I have another YouTube channel that I would appreciate you checking out and subscribing to. It's drgary.tv, and it's a YouTube channel dedicated to helping each one of us live a better life. And what we do is talk about problems and challenges that we all have, and it's driven by your comments, as well as some of the ideas that have come to me through the years on how to solve problems using hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming. So check it out, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. And then this channel here also is on YouTube, and it is under Frisky Biscuits. And we would appreciate you subscribing to this channel. And this channel is all about fun. It's all about rolling stock, which means motorhomes, trucks, campers, people commuting is what we're interested in relating to and having fun with. And one of the big things is each one of us drives something somewhere. And the ones that we really want to focus on and dedicate this to are the unsung heroes, mostly truck drivers, and some of the people out there that are driving motorhomes, helping keep America alive by spreading their good fortune around in restaurants and businesses. So this is about you, and we really appreciate you helping us. And anytime that you can come to our website and check it out and subscribe and follow us, we would really appreciate it. And Lisa, you might even remind them where they can find this podcast at and how they find us.
You can find us on any of the podcast sites. We're on all of them. There's about 15 or 16 of them. You can find us through our website, frisky-biscuit.com. You can email us at friskybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. You can text us at 707-479-7404. And we are going to come out and find you as well. We look forward to getting out there in the next week or so, and we're going to start our interviews for all you road warriors out there. So
where's your sticker?
Right here.
There's your
Frisky
sticker.
Biscuit Road Warrior. And I think I said this already, what's so cool about these stickers is they're static. So they stick on the windows or stick on your car, but they don't leave all that residue like stickers do. And our goal is to come find you and find your funny stories and find out what you're doing out on the road, and then put you on our podcast so you can tell all your friends and you can hear yourself on the radio too.
Did I hear a nasty rumor that we're also going to give $100,000 away to the 100th road warrior that we interview?
That was a nasty thing going around. It's not true.
It was a rumor. Just having fun. Just having fun.
Hey, maybe we'll get to that point. We are taking sponsors at this point.
We're looking for one more. And so if you're interested in sponsoring this podcast, let us know. We're not going to be doing affiliate marketing and pitching things directly every 5 minutes other than our T-shirts.
And our hats. The hats are so cool. I can't wait to get them out there. I would say in the next week or two, we're waiting on the printer right now to finish them up. And it's a local printer. So you can be sure that your screen printing here is coming out the highest quality. All the T-shirts are 100% cotton. And it's our way of shining and showing you some of our artwork. And we trust that you're going to love it.
And also, just a footnote, these are going to be hand-stamped, packaged licked by Lisa as she sends it to you directly.
That's right.
We have no staff. It's just us.
That's right at this point.
So if you swamp us, it might take a little time, but we've had a lot of interest in this, and we really appreciate the interest that we're getting because it's fun. And again, we're doing this for fun, by the way. Can you tell this is not real serious? but we're talking about serious stuff. In fact, we talked about this a little bit last week. We went to a street fair here in our town, Twin Falls, Idaho, this last week, and our favorite food truck was there. And man, I tell you what, again, back to food trucks, these guys really know what they're doing when it comes to feeding people. And I'll let Lisa tell a little more of the story, but this name of this truck is called Porked Out. We're going to plug them, and I think we're going to be interviewing them pretty soon and talk about food trucks and the life of what's going on. But they're truck drivers too, and we have a T-shirt that says that, and they are really road warriors out there. They're the ones that come to your job site when nobody else will and bring you something to eat. They're the ones that go by the office when you're stranded there and you can't leave and honk in the parking lot and you can go down and get a burrito. These guys have done a great job. And,
it's like the old ice cream trucks. That's what it reminds me. There's a part of it that's just so
kind of nostalgic,
foundational to who we are. And I tell you, the road warriors of the food trucks are doing a fabulous job. That street fair we went to, the line was around the corner, and they got the food out so quick, and it was so hot, and it was so delicious. A lot of these food trucks that I'm meeting, the people that are running them are actually chefs. A lot of them have gone to institutions to learn their craft, and they didn't want to open up a stick and brick mortar business. They wanted to be mobile, and what I'm finding in the marketing, what they're doing, because I'm always interested in marketing and how to get your name out there and who you are and branding yourself. And one of the things I'm finding with the food trucks that is really working well is they're kind of niching down on their menus. They're giving you a more limited menu of 4 or 5 items, but they're so good. It's more quality over quantity. So you're not getting 30 choices anymore. You're getting 5 of the best. And I think they're doing that even more so than the brick and mortar restaurants, and they're doing a really good job of it. Not only that, they're really becoming more social responsible and working with green packaging and making sure all the trash stays there, and they're taking it to green sites. So I'm really impressed with the negative impact that they're putting out to our environment and really taking responsibility for it. The other thing that I'm seeing that they're doing marketing-wise, which makes a lot of sense. They don't use YouTube so much because it takes a lot to make these videos and put them out on YouTube, and they just don't have the time. You know, they're working from early morning where they're going to the stores, picking up their produce and picking up the result of supply chains, too, of keeping that limited menu. Then they're going and preparing it and making it and opening their doors from 10 to 7 or 8 at night. So they're busy and they're doing their jobs out there every day. But to get out there, what they're doing is they're using Facebook, doing live promos for themselves. They're also using TikTok. TikTok is just exploding with the food trucks lately. And the reason being is they can show their menu, they can show their food, they can do short little vignette videos, but they don't have to have the long production that it takes to do YouTube. So they can really have attention to the younger consumers, too, that use TikTok. And
I admire anybody that can figure out how to use TikTok.
There's some funny videos on TikTok. And they're doing loyalty programs, too, like rewards and exclusive coupons. And we're going to be here at this time and come and get your food at this discounted price. So TikTok's been a great avenue, along with Facebook, for them to get their information out there. Because, again, they're not brick and mortar. They're not in the same place all the time.
Right. Well, food trucks, man, I tell you what, we love them, and they're part of our community, and they're part of your community too. If you're a commuter out there, if you're a trucker, if you're one of the funniest things I saw one time was a truck stop. This was at our local Blue Beacon car wash. I saw a smart truck, food truck driver driving down the line of all the trucks parked waiting to get washed at a truck stop.
That's a great idea. You know, these guys wait 2 or 3 hours. That's what I was saying. If you're going to Blue Beacon, check on their website and check on their app for timing, because there's certain times that they're busy and not so busy. When they're busy, those truck drivers are just sitting in line. What a great captive audience.
Great place for a food truck. Exactly.
Maybe I'll go there and give out our Road Warrior stickers.
There you go.
We can't wait to get these out there.
You know, one of the things we're looking forward to is, especially Lisa, is to interview you. You know, you out there and meeting truck drivers. Some of you RVers out there. There's a lot of RVers on television right now, or YouTube, I could say, that we know about. A couple of very influential ones really helped us along in just watching their YouTubes, helping us get started with RVing, because believe it or not, it is just not camping anymore. It is complicated. These machines, like this motorhome we have, is very high tech. There's a lot going on. And so you just don't go buy one and go. You're probably better off staying in your driveway till you learn how to operate it. But RV Lifestyle is one of the YouTube channels we would suggest anyone watch for entertainment, but also education. And then there's a couple of people that we've watched from the beginning that started out with their kids traveling, and it's Mark and Trish Leach. They live down in Arizona, but they're on the road most of the time traveling, and they got this old bus they bought, an old Bluebird called a Bluebird Wonder Lodge, and it's fascinating to watch them. But you kind of get on the inside of their life, but it's fun to watch them. And if you have the bug to go camping or buy a motorhome, watch those two channels. They'll answer a lot of questions. You'll see what it's probably really like. There's more of them, but we like those two especially, and we watched them for a long time.
And, you know, one of the things I really love about Mark and Trish Leach, and their channel's called Keep Your Daydream, is if you go back 5 or 6 years when they started out, they had 3 young kids. They were just like a normal couple with regular jobs and decided, we don't want that lifestyle anymore. We want to go traveling with our children. So they sold their home, put their stuff in storage. They actually started with a towable themselves, a 5th wheel, and took off. And if you look at their videos in the very beginning, and then you look at them now, my hat, if I had a hat, is off to you, Mark, because you've done a great job. What you've done in the last 5 years is phenomenal, of the cadence, how you put them together. They're fun. They're like little movies. They're not only like little home movies, they're for all of us, and you've taught us a lot of things. So we really, really appreciate actually both those channels and a couple of others too. If you're a newbie RVer, I would suggest watching them. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot of their mistakes.
And it's easy to make mistakes. Also, just another thing about that is we watched his videos go from something like ours to amazingly produced. So he would be a really good TV producer now. He's learned how to do it on his own. And just proud of them. They're good people. And we might even be so fortunate enough to bring them on here with us one of these days and talk to them directly. So
yeah, let us know what you want to hear too. We're just starting this and we're putting it together for you. So all of you road warriors out there, what do you want to hear? Who do you want to hear from? What do you want to hear about? We're going to interview you, so you've got your time here, but we'll do some longer interviews of products, of people, of just for education and just for some fun.
If you have a story that's interesting and you think people, especially some of the veterans out there, that people might be interested in, contact us, 707-479-7404, or our website, frisky-biscuits.com. Or biscuit.com, no S on it, frisky-biscuit.com.
Say that 3 times.
No. I lucked out right there. And let us know, because we will be in touch with you, and we'd love to interview you and put the story out there so other people can hear it if you're a road warrior. And we're saluting all of you who do, because it's kind of what keeps America going, and it keeps us America alive. It's that spirit of independence that makes this country great. And that particular genre of truck driving, being out on the road, we love our cars. I'm a car lover. I'm a machine lover. And I'm sure many of you are too. So, help us out. And also on our website there, believe it or not, this is not a solicitation, but just so you know, there is a donation button there.
Yeah.
And we're not soliciting donations, but here's the thing. This costs some bucks to do. And this equipment, as small as it is, costs money. And we're working folks just like you. So if you feel like this is something that you enjoy and you want to keep it going and help us support it, we'd really appreciate it. But you don't have to. It's free to you, and we're doing it for fun. However, every little bit counts, right?
Yeah, we'd really appreciate it. And we want to encourage you to get out there. Get out there this summer. Summer's about to begin. Well, spring is just about sprung here anyway. And I'm sure in your area too. So we encourage you to get your rigs out of mothballs if they are and hit the road this summer.
You know, get out there because time is of the essence. And here's a profound thought. You're as young as you're ever going to be right now. And somebody told me you're as good looking as you're ever going to be right now. So think about that. And if you've been wanting to get out there and do something this summer, make this the summer that you're going to do it.
Your summer to remember.
Your summer to remember. As Mark and Tish have their summer to remember on their YouTube channel, make this your summer to remember. Whether it's buying an RV, borrowing one, and by the way, people will rent them to you. There's programs out there where you don't have to own one. You can go rent one. So until next time, we have more interesting topics coming up. We're going to be out once a week, and we trust we will have this up by Wednesday every week. Correct? Wednesday?
Yep, yeah. Wednesday.
And website again for our T-shirts.
Frisky-Biscuit.com. We so thank you for being here and taking your busy day and time listening to us. And we can't wait to meet you.
Until next time, this is Dr. G and Lisa wishing you the best, wishing you a safe day. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for taking the time. We know you have a lot of choices. There are amazing podcasts out there. Listen to all of them and include us in that list. Until next week, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.